Okay, nice.
You're
That's
from
cool.
you're from Nebraska,
Yeah,
right?
from Omaha, the Big
Yeah,
O.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. You know, I loved growing up there. I thought it was really nice. Did you like growing up in Chicago?
Oh, I love Chicago. It's so there's so much variety and there's so much urbanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. You know, you spoke what I was thinking. I got to be honest. I'm a little wondering if this urban scale is for somebody like me, but you know, I can understand. It sounds like you like the.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't want to live anywhere else.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is it a little nerve-wracking? Is it like tense in any moments?
I mean, it can be a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
It can be a little bit at times, but I feel like if I was living out, you know, in the middle of nowhere, I'd be pretty bored, you know.
Well, you know, Omaha is actually it's a real strong hub for music. We've got Saddle Creek Records, and I hear it is out in the middle of America. It's very much surrounded by farmland and that kind of stuff, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on in Omaha. I think you might be surprised. But with Chicago, like, I don't know how y'all do it. I think that people just seem to be all on top of each other. Like, how is that a peaceful life?
Well, you know, maybe we're all on top of each other, but you know, like at least we get to see each other.
People, I felt a couple cold shoulders here just in my couple weeks being here, and you know, I don't know if you identify with that, but I think that it could be a little bit more of the backcountry warmness that we feel in Nebraska. I think that I feel pretty warm with folks. So, and I see them all the time.
Well, you know, we don't have to be isolated to be warm with each other.
Okay. Well, you know, I hear that. It doesn't sound like you really understand what Nebraska is about, or the heartland, which, you know, I think gives the heart to the Midwest. Without us, it's just another big city, amoral place.
Oh, so you're saying we city people don't have the morals of you people who nobody knows about?
It doesn't seem like it. It doesn't seem like families are considered very much, and it seems like it's everybody just out for themselves, just trying to make it in a kind of a real rushed dog rushed around place. Nobody seems to have a second.
So you're calling us greedy? Well, y'all have a lack of relevance altogether. At least we're relevant.
Hey, at least our streets don't smell like crap.
You calling our streets smelling like crap?
Have you smelled your streets?
I don't even smell your streets.
Well, you know, I will say a feedlot can be a little of intense of a smell, but a few of those alleys in downtown Chicago, I almost passed out.
I see. Yeah, you're just not used to the city life.
I guess not, but I don't know if I'd want to be.
So let's
we're
to stiletto thrusting.
Yeah. to commenting on aroma of the streets. Like,
Yeah.
But it could have been brought back to like a more familiar kind of situation.
No, but yeah, that momentum of
So even when you were role playing it, you're still being triggered deeper.
Yeah.
You're staying in the role play because you're trying to teach and things, but
Yeah.
really you're being triggered.
Absolutely. It's unsettling a little bit because I was finding myself in a momentum of being carried into a scenario that doesn't feel good, but I feel like I was.
Yeah. That's why
caught in a loop.
maybe you didn't want to really come out of it a little bit because you're already like kind of raw.
Why not be intoxicating? Because like someone hurts you or triggers you, and then you just want to make them feel that way, and then it's like
Even if on the top you're just doing a role play, but actually you're still feeling it.
It's a bad loop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she could have said, or it could have been said from the Omaha person about like, you know, it's very racist that they shoot out the death or the crime in Chicago. And that sort of slices, like they said streets, and you like, hold on, streets. My street's not. You were getting ready to say something. My street doesn't smell like that.
Yeah.
You know, so it can cut a little bit, as they say.
For sure.
So I actually, this gives me an idea. There's two things here. One is maybe what we want to do is a group version of this.
One was a slave supporter in the Civil War and one was not. And so when you go to Tennessee and some of the other schools that they're rivals with, because they were Tennessee volunteers, the Vows, and whoever their rival is was probably on the other side of the war. So this actually has a basis
Thank you.
riddled with history behind
Thank
it.
you.
And we don't even have
Yeah.
a clue
Yeah.
to where these rivals
Thank
started.
you.
You're just like, you wear
Yeah.
purple and I wear white.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Uh-huh.
pretty much what it is in Kansas
Yeah.
now. But it really is deeper than all of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and to
Much deeper in some cases.
See not only the differences in history, but then the points of unity that persist even with that.
Yeah, correct.
Yes.
You know,
Yes.
Correct. Great date.
oh my God,
Beautiful.
amazing.
Great date.
Are really supportive towards knowing like how to start these hard conversations, how awareness for this become somewhat knotted up feeling of either conflict or me being anxious about hurting somebody's feelings or this kind of thing, you know, like it just feels like that is such a hard thing to initiate in a healthy way, and this dignity work just gives so many little boosts to being able to do it and feel like, especially with the community
Yes.
that you got, you know, involved with us, you know that you can start it and you're not going to be floating in open waters of either anxiety or conflict or whatever. Like, we'll have modes to know how to restore our own dignity, restore the other person's dignity in the space, and
So Jay, one thing I would say in groups that I've worked in, particularly groups like this that are working on improving how they respond to people, I always say what you do here, you do in your life. And so you're working on things and improving, so you bring that back to your life.
yeah,
This is not like I was at this, then I go home and I'm the same.
yeah.
You come here to make changes. So what you do here, you do in your life.
Makes
Amazing.
me think about sort of the disruptive nature of this work in a good way, right? That like sometimes you go to a training, as you're saying, and you go back home and nothing changes.
Yeah.
Right? Like you've said to yourself, "Oh, I'm a good person. I studied these things, right? Like I'm on the good side."
Yeah.
But what
I
does
have
that
this-
mean
yeah.
if it doesn't change the action in your life?
Yeah.
Right? This is the distinction between restorative justice and transformative justice.
Yes.
Because when we talk about restorative justice, maybe things weren't so good
Yeah.
before that you're trying to restore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And so you need to transform the situation into something that matters. And by having people actually engage with this work, you know, I deeply value the training that I've had in restorative justice mediation. I've taken day-long trainings on multiple occasions that made me a mediator according to Longmont Restorative Justice, right? And they're really great one. That said, what we have done here today and what we will continue doing in these evaluations is far more rigorous than a lot of like highly professional mediator trainings. Now, we can't put that on our thing because we're not like official about that yet, but we have our evaluation and we're going to be bringing that before many experts. And so eventually we will be able to say this is a prestigious evaluation.
One is forged by the practical, like embodying of these conflicts, and it's I'm
So
grateful
Jay,
for it.
one thing I'd say to you, sometimes we go to a training and we learn things in our mind, very important. But if we really want to make change, we have to do things in our mind and our heart simultaneously. And then we have fundamental change, you know, within ourselves, which is what we're trying to do. We're trying to teach other people to do it. So we have to do it ourselves in order to do it with others.
And please go back, Amelia, while you got a minute, and restate the difference between restorative justice and what kind of justice?
And transformative
There you
justice,
go,
right? So when we talk about
Thank you.
restorative justice, we're talking about a relationship where there's been a dignity violation, and the relationship previously was good, and so the goal is to restore that relationship, to try to bring that relationship back to the good place that it had been in. Transformative justice, though, which people like John Paul Lederach founded, and he's closely associated with Donna Hicks. transformative justice says, well, maybe the situation in the first place wasn't actually very good.
Yeah.
Right?
Thank you.
And this is why a lot of folks of color prefer transformative justice. Like a lot of folks of color will say, restorative justice is all right for white folks, but it's not so great for us. You know, it's transformative justice says that we have to change the fundamental conditions, that we want to get an outcome that changes the status quo, doesn't leave it in the place that it had been if it was unworkable for somebody.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you for asking.
Yeah, that's a great, wonderful question, Justin.
Thank you for sharing.
And I just think about like how like we're talking about bringing things home and like making that change at home. Like when we're coming here, right? We're sharpening our tools. We're sharpening our tools. And then we gotta like bring them home and use them. We gotta use the tools.
I mean, let's cut to the chase. This is like church, or this is like going to see. This was really therapeutic.
That's what I.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you're going to receive that kind of interaction and interchange, then if us going to the masjid every Friday, I learned how to read the the Arabic. My Arabic gets better, and I'm supposed to be this, that, and the other. But I'm not feeding people. I'm not smiling. I'm treating people like dirt. I'm not respecting women. Not respecting our community. And you may know Arabic and you may know all of that, but as far as being a Muslim and practicing, I think that could be a little gray area there.
That's very beautiful what you said.
Yeah.
So,
Very beautiful.
there's a lot of people that can speak
Yeah.
better Arabic than us.
Yeah.
I'm just really determined to get that under our belt, but I want people to see how we live.
Absolutely.
Are we living
Yeah.
what we're talking about?
Reminds me.
Quote all day long.
Yeah.
You can quote all day long.
Oh, wow.
Memorized it all.
You can
Come on.
memorize it all. You
Yeah.
got us. I give
Yeah.
it to you. You got
Yeah.
us.
But it's a
But
practice.
how are you practicing? Are
Oh.
you feeding people? Are you walk out of your house and even say hi to your neighbor?
Yeah.
Do you even know who your neighbor is? Let's start there. So and let's even go back closer. Have you picked up the phone to call your mama lately?
Yeah, there you go. Come on.
Started those very elementary things. When you come out to this, there's no way possibly you could have went through what we just went through as a group today and not carry that home. I'm waiting. I can't wait to get home to go share this with somebody, because I saw a young couple going back and forth, and I just want to point out to them that there's something amiss between y'all. And why don't you, before it escalates, sit down and talk? You just had a baby, you're loving each other, but there's something going wrong. If I'm hearing volume being raised almost on a regular basis, then I love y'all. And I'm your uncle. I'm trying to help you.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a chance to be better and do better
Yeah.
in a better environment. Go sit down and chat it out. It's only a conversation away from whatever may be broken or may be missing that could make y'all get over the hump before the hump even gets up on the horizon.
Calling him in.
Calling in, calling on.
Calling on.
Yeah.
We could talk about how somebody's dignity feels violated.
Yeah.
Somebody's dignity
Yeah.
not recognized.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
To-
what- oh, God.
no, please go right ahead.
What-
we just
what-
thank you for having it and
Yay.
continuing to stay on Zoom.
Yeah.
Stay in the books,
Yeah.
trying to find a practical way in which to get other people involved, get other people trained,
Making us able to do it.
making them able to do it. Because if you're not
Yeah.
the engine behind that,
Yeah.
then this would not be where
Yeah.
it's at.
Well,
Yeah.
because you are, I am, right? Because,
Say that.
Because
Say
you,
that.
Because you
Say
are,
that.
I am.
That's
So
great.
if I'm helping any,
Kudos.
it's because all of you showed up today
Yeah.
to make this alive. Because
Yeah.
this work isn't alive in me without all of you.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
We
I feel
we
that with
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I, talking about what you were saying about, like learning all the formal technical stuff, but not having the spirit of charity in one's heart fully in action, right? Talking about learning Arabic, but not necessarily going out and feeding the homeless. I think of what Donna Hicks said, because she was talking about there was this organization that did immigration law, and they were helping a lot of people. And they had a really important mission. But all the people at this nonprofit, we're violating each other's dignity left and right. And
Poetry.
and so she says there's 3 C's: connection, connection, and connection. That connection with our own dignity, connection with each other's dignity, and connection with the dignity of a power greater than ourselves, which can either be divine or secular. It can be nature, have to be spiritual per se, but some power greater than ourselves, the dignity of that. And what I hear you saying is that you've got to have all of that. You can't just go through the technical stuff and say, okay, well, I'm going to go through the motions of this divinity and do it, but I'm not going to treat my neighbor with the divinity that I bring to my spirituality.
So perfect example. An alderman got up at the event we were at with Dr. Kev, a town hall meeting, gives this very valuable summation about how he used to be a recipient of Social Security and hard times and lights being turned off and all this and that. Very heart driven, pulled everybody into the conversation. Bless up. And they were like, that's why we need Social Security. I went and got his card, because now I'm gonna go back to him and ask him, if you can understand your hardship and your humanity, then how come you didn't push to sign the bill that Mariah asked y'all to sign to say that Palestinians, all they want is peace, or all we should have is the war being brought to an end, or whatever the young lady was asking them to do that they had done for Ukraine.
Yeah.
They could have done the same thing for this warring kind of situation.
Yeah.
That war is not the answer. In other words, kind of amendment that they passed, they refused to do for Palestine.
We were there.
Where's your humanity?
We went to
You
that.
just made this whole crowd, a room about 100 people or more, understand your hardship and your humanity, but where's your humanity when it comes to someone else? It stops at a border? Is there a border where passports of humanity don't work anymore? Come on. So I can't wait to go home and practice what we just saw.
Red, black, and green.
What? RBT all the way down. Thank you again.
Thank you,
Yes.
Kevin.
Thank y'all.
Thank you.